The first item on our agenda, which is the fact that we do have Councillor Edwards attending via Zoom. I see Councillor Stellinger is yet to join us, and we will go to the opening karakia in a second and go to the apologies. Councillor Briggs, would you be so kind to take us through the karakia?
Of course, Chair. Me noi tātou, let us pray. Whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau ki te tonga. Kia mā kina ki uta, kia mā taratara ki tai. E he aki ana te ata akura, he tio, he hoka, he hauhu, ti hei, mauri ora.
Thank you, Councillor Briggs. As I think Councillor Edwards is joining us on Zoom. There he is. Good afternoon, Councillor Edwards. There are no apologies for the meeting, so we will move on to public comment, of which we have none for today either. Conflict of interest declarations, members. Are there any matters that need to be declared or any matters pertaining to the agenda today? No, thank you. I will just draw your attention, which I no doubt members you are aware, public announcement. I am, as of the 1st of July, the chair of Kiwi Rail and New Zealand Railways Corporation. So obviously just note that for completeness, it was obviously disclosed to the Chief Executive well ahead of that. So that has been updated. So that takes us to item 5, please, which is the Hutt City Council Group Annual Report for 2024-25. The update on the external audit processes on page 9, which Jenny, I believe you're going to speak to this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the purpose of this report is to give you an update on how we're going with our preparation of the Group Annual Report for the year ended 30th of June 2025. So the big picture plan for this is really to get it across the line and signed out by Council before the elections on the 7th of October. Audit New Zealand's confirmed all the resourcings in place for the audit, and they've actually started the interim audit last week. So there's some good progress happening around the audit. In paragraph 10 is a little timeline, high-level timeline. And I just want to provide an update on one of those dates. The 25th of August there for the Audit and Risk Subcommittee workshop's been changed. Now it's on the 21st. And that'll be an opportunity for us to really talk through an early draft of the annual report and work through any queries you've got and get some feedback on that early draft of the annual report. And then on the 23rd of September, we'll have the formal meeting with the Audit and Risk Subcommittee to review that draft unaudited annual report. Also just want to highlight paragraph 14 and 15, which talks about the asset revaluation process. So we have engaged our specialists Aon and WSP to help us assess the fair values for this year end. And that piece of work has progressed well. Basically, they've advised us with the detailed work they've done that there's no material changes to the asset values for this year end. And so we've just got to finish off some work with our auditors now for them to review that. And we expect that there won't be any big changes to the asset values. We are working closely with Wellington City Council and Upper Hutt City Council, alongside WSP in particular, around the Three Waters assets to make sure that we're all aligned, particularly in the context of the water reform piece of work that's happening as well. So I will close off there and happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Just before we open for questions, the Audit and Risk Subcommittee on the 23rd of September, as previously agreed, that I'm happy for other elected members who are not members of this subcommittee to attend that meeting should they wish to, because obviously there's a very tight time frame after that before the council meeting to adopt the annual report on the 7th of October. So that invite is on the table for people to attend, other members to attend should they wish to do so, which I hope they'll take us up on that. Thank you. But tight timeline, but good process, well in place. Thank you, Jenny. Members of the committee, are there any questions? No, thank you. I will then move the motion, and that is that the subcommittee 1 receives and notes the update on the preparation of the Group Annual Report 2024-25. 2, notes that the interim audit is underway and will be completed by 30 June 2025. 3, notes that the final audited group annual report 2024-25 is expected to be available for council adoption on 7 October 2025. 4, notes that the statutory deadline for the adoption of the group annual report 2024-25 is 31 October 2025. And 5, notes that officers plan to present the draft unaudited group annual report 2024-25 to the Audit and Risk Subcommittee on 23 September 2025. May I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Morgan. Members of the committee, do you wish to debate the motion? No? Thank you. I'll now put the motion, which has been moved and seconded. All those in favour say aye. Against say no. Thank you. I saw your hand there, Councillor Edwards. I declare the motion carried. Thank you. That takes us to item 6 on page 14, which is an update on water services matters. So, good afternoon, Bruce. Welcome. Again, thank you for your report once again. Please take that as read and perhaps draw any matters or anything that may have changed since you wrote the report to our attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've only got 2 comments to make that provide further information since this report was written. So one of the risks that we'd identified earlier on with the preparation of the Water Services Delivery Plan was ensuring that DIA was comfortable with the document that we are going to produce. And so they have had a copy of the draft, the 90% draft that has been prepared, and their initial response has been that they do believe that it appears to comply with the Act, the requirements of the Act. So that is something that I think just bring to your attention. The second one is in relation to paragraph 19. So the dryer has been closed down for a couple of weeks. It basically went very well, and there was no issues in terms of getting it back online. In fact, they did so 5 days earlier than planned, so that went well. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you for bringing those matters to our attention. They're both good positive updates. Members of the committee, are there any questions you have for Bruce? Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, Bruce. Certainly good news on how things went with the dryer and the work that was done. Would you, from what you can see, would you put this down to a significant improvement in the processes, Veolia's operations, Wellington Water's oversight? Because it does feel like even though there were some problems, things were mitigated well and it all went to plan as much. Yeah.
Yes, I would agree with that comment that I think both Veolia and Wellington Water have committed, I suppose, in a way to ensuring that whatever projects and aspects that it's planning in terms of the, particularly with Seaview wastewater treatment plant, that it turns over every stone in terms of putting in place the plan and the contingencies that need to be there. And so it was very thorough, and on this occasion, it wasn't without incident. There was one incident that occurred, but they managed to still get on and finish it.
And certainly aware of that. And I think the fact that they were able to, even though that happened, able to obviously mitigate the potential impacts and the likes. But I think, I suppose for us, there's going to be a lot more of this work over the coming years, and we don't want to lose sight of this, I think, moving forward, and particularly for the new council. So I've just been thinking about how important this will be to brief the incoming council and to make sure it is top of the agenda, which I know it will be with the team, but I just wanted to make that point.
Thank you, Bruce. Madam Chief Executive.
Mr. Mayor, you're spot on, and just to assure the committee in terms of the treatment plant renewal and its operations, that is top of our corporate risk register that we manage as a corporate leadership team and report up any issues into here. I don't see that going any further down that risk register, albeit that, as you say, there is both better grip by Wellington Water and much stronger operation by Veolia, given the significance and importance of this and what may happen if it goes wrong. It's important that that remains at the top of the risk register.
Thank you. And Chief Executive, that's also no doubt a matter that will be noted in the pre-election report.
It is indeed, in its current drafting.
Of which I will review.
You will.
Thank you. Any further questions, members? No, thank you. I'll then move the motion, and that is that the subcommittee 1 notes the actions to date that Wellington Water Limited has undertaken to complete its Wellington Water Culture and Value for Money improvement program. 2, notes the progress of work on the water services delivery model and the water services delivery meet legislative requirements of water reform. And 3, notes the work being undertaken at Seaview Wastewater Treatment Plant to address issues and risks associated with odour management and the sludge dryer. May I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Morgan. Members of the committee, do you wish to debate the motion or speak to the motion? Councillor Morgan, thank you.
Kia ora. I'd just like to add to all the comments that have been made, but I think the communication has been excellent as well with the meetings that have gone on with the community. And even the last meeting, it was so positive because they were really transparent, you know, and I think there's been a huge effort there, which goes, you know, it's really valued by everyone. So I just wanted to make that comment that it's excellent work going on. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Morgan. It's appreciated, I'm sure. Any further comments? No, thank you. We have a mover and a seconder for the motion, and I'll put the motion. Those in favour, please say aye. Against, please say no. Thank you, Councillor Edwards. I see all others aye. I declare the motion carried. Thank you, Bruce, for your continued good work. That takes us to item 7, which is on page 18 of the agenda pack, and that is the information item, the standing Audit and Risk Subcommittee Forward Work Programme for the remainder of calendar year 2025 on the page agenda of this pack. It is self-explanatory with the forward work program there. I'll just ask, as the courtesy, members, if there are any questions. Councillor Briggs.
Thank you, Chair. Just one, just around the pending item, the Slips and Wider City Works Program. Will that be getting dealt with this term, or will that be getting carried over to the incoming council?
You able to comment on that, Madam
I
Chief
believe
Executive?
It's here, for your September meeting. Yeah.
So I just want to clarify, it's currently is pending on our agenda.
This one.
Apologies, through you, Madam Chair. Can I come back to members of the committee outside the meeting, please? But I suspect an update would be no bad thing.
Thank you, Councillor Briggs. Thank you, Madam Chief Executive. Any further questions? No, thank you. I'll move the motion, which is quite simple, that the subcommittee receives and notes the forward program for 2025 as attached as Appendix 1 to the memorandum, noting obviously you will clarify that point, Madam Chief Executive. May I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Briggs. I'll now put the motion, which has been moved and seconded. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, please say no. Thank you. I declare the motion carried. Members of the committee, I have not received any questions for this meeting, so I'm going to take us to item 9, which is the exclusion of the public. Before I do that, I'll just check if there's any last questions. No. I'll move the motion, and that is that the public be excluded from the following parts of the proceeding of today's meeting, namely items 10, Cyber Security Update 2025, and 11, the litigation report. May I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Briggs. Members of the committee, do you wish to speak to the motion or debate? No, thank you. I'll now put the motion, which has been seconded. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, say no. Thank you. I declare the motion carried and the public part of the meeting closed at 2.